Hello, everyone, and welcome into crushthestreet.com. I'm Kenneth Amaduri, and we got another exciting, very insightful interview for everyone today. We're seeing blockchain in the 21st century really go beyond where anyone was, I think, fathoming when Bitcoin was first introduced to the world 10 years ago. And just the infrastructure that's being built out is incredible. And the announcement of Libra and Facebook, the developments of this blockchain and the implications on what it's going to do for this massive organization, I think speaks volumes to where we are at today in 2019. MasterCard, Visa, PayPal, and Uber, are all investing $10 million each into this project, this Facebook coin. And again, it's another stamp of approval and a solidification of where the sector is going in regards to blockchain and cryptocurrency. But to talk with us about this today is Bruce Elliott, president of ICOx Innovation. This is a company responsible for branding and maintaining the infrastructure for the payments of these corporate or organizational cryptocurrencies. We spoke with the co-founder of ICOx just not that long ago, Cameron Schell, and we're doing a follow-up now with the president of the company, Bruce Elliott. Bruce has a 25-year-long history in e-commerce. He's a veteran. He has held senior leadership positions. And he's just somebody who's become a real authority in the space. So we're going to dive into Facebook and what's going on with ICOx today. Bruce, thanks for coming on Crush the Street with me today.
Kenneth, thank you very much for having me. It's an exciting week. I'm in New York City, and it's a real buzz with the announcement of Facebook's Libra coin and their Calibra wallet. Two things. Everyone's talking about the coin, but their wallet, I think, is also really interesting. So there's so much exciting stuff going on right now.
So if you would introduce us for those who know about it, for those who don't know about it. I know we did an interview just not that long ago with Cameron Schell, but let's talk about what's going on with the Facebook coin, the wallet, and the implications on what this has on commerce going forward here in 2019.
I think this is a seminal moment for crypto and blockchain worldwide. I mean, Facebook is going to bring this experience of cryptocurrency that's been around, as you said, Bitcoin for a decade, but has yet to crack the real mainstream. I think Facebook's announcement now can bring that mainstream. One of Coinbase's, they're an $8 billion valuation company. Their head of risk and payments said this will bring crypto to and wallet experiences to hundreds of millions of consumers. And I think that's the kind of moment that we've been looking for. We've all seen the value of cryptocurrencies, but in retail transactions, stable coins, the way ICOx is building our coins and the way that Facebook is building their Libra coin, that's the perfect design for retail transactions. And we think that the simplicity, the user experience, the low cost, that's what the real tipping point we think is to bring crypto mainstream.
So let's talk about that a little more. I guess to really connect the dots for people who want to understand what the value is of these corporate or organizational coins are, let's talk about Facebook, this example of why they want their own coin. Obviously, JP Morgan doing the same thing. What is so special about doing this on the blockchain, and why is this becoming such a big deal?
Well, I think it's about three things. One, it's lowering costs. The blockchain allows you to do significantly lower cost transactions. The way the technology is built, less intermediaries, it is direct transactions. It brings significantly lower costs, and that helps everything from microtransactions to peer-to-peer transactions. Those are the two areas that Facebook's going to focus on in a big way. To international bank settlement, and that's where JP Morgan is focused with their digital currency. But we also see that brands, and we help Fortune 5,000 brands to adopt and launch their own branded corporate currencies. That's exactly what we're focused on, and we think they can bring significantly lower transaction costs, create huge new data models that is only available. Much of that data is sitting at the payment companies today, and now the brands can have access and own and protect that data, and then create really innovative new rewards and loyalty programs. So those are the three things: cost, data, and loyalty, which is the customer experience.
So, Bruce, we're looking at a $9,300 Bitcoin right now. A lot of people thought, and we're leaving it for dead in 2018. I know this isn't necessarily, you don't need to be pro Bitcoin to see the value in something, let's say like the Facebook Libra or JP Morgan or some of these other blockchain used platforms. But I think it goes a long way to show that blockchain is here to stay, and there's viability, regarding and surrounding blockchain, when there was a lot of pundits out there scratching their heads and, just very anti what is going on in the space. But here we are. I mean, does $9,300 Bitcoin mean much to you? What does it mean to you?
Well, to me, it's not directly correlated to, I think, the success of blockchain. We understand blockchain is here to stay. Bitcoin is built on blockchain. Facebook Libra is built on blockchain. JP Morgan's coins are built on blockchain. So I think blockchain itself is a 10-year-old technology, proven, and Facebook's announcement has really given it, I think, credibility around the world. So now it kind of gives every brand the option to say, yeah, you know what, I think I should seriously be pursuing this technology. Now, coins on their own. So Bitcoin is by far the most widely known and most popular cryptocurrency. It's shot up from 4,000 to 9,300 again. It's still not at its peak of 20,000, but I think that for us, what we're seeing is Bitcoin's been around 10 years. And it hasn't cracked the mainstream yet. And that's really for just a couple of simple reasons. One, they're still not very easy to use. If you try and buy a Bitcoin, transact, try and use it at a coffee shop, those are very difficult things to do. So I think this next wave of cryptocurrencies pioneered by, that's going to be led by Facebook and the brands that we're bringing to market, stable coins, those are designed for retail transactions. And I think that's the big difference. So I think Bitcoin is still going to be the most popular cryptocurrency for a long time. But I think these stable coins, which don't fluctuate in value, so no one's speculating with them, because stable coins are pegged to a basket, in Facebook's case, of a basket of international currencies. In our case, the coins are pegged to a US dollar, so there's real fiat money behind each of these coins. I think that that's the big mainstream shift.
Right. Well, let's talk about some of the uses, I think, for the Facebook coin. You know what? Let's go here, Bruce. Here's a situation now where Facebook is able to create their own currency, right? And they have the financial means to do so. JP Morgan is doing it on their own, but there's not a lot of companies out there who might want to take on this endeavor or have the expertise. And you guys are focusing on that specifically to be this operating system and this mentor of corporate, organizational branded digital currencies. So can you talk about that or speak to that a little bit on companies that might want to do it on their own, and the benefit of going to a company like you have to do it through you, and the benefits of that?
Absolutely. I mean, what you're saying is Facebook is going to tackle the world. They want to focus first on cross-border payments. They want to focus on microtransactions, serving the unbanked. I think these are very, very worthy models, and I think they will be very successful doing those. JP Morgan, again, international bank settlement. But where you see the real value is a brand wanting to get closer to their customer, and that's the opportunity to bring out their own digital currency, where they can take more control of the entire customer experience, from lowering transaction costs significantly to owning more of the transaction data, right down to creating, again, their own loyalty and payment models based on these data and using these transactional models. So that's where the calls that we're getting from brands to say, wow, we've seen what Facebook's doing, and we'd like to do that. And ICOx is well positioned to serve those Fortune 5,000 brands, who many of them just don't have the capability to do it themselves, or the timing or the focus. At ICOx, we bring the regulatory vision, the market vision, the product and technology vision, and the execution vision, all in one package. And that's what we find brands looking for when they're looking to launch their own branded digital currency.
So I want the audience to really appreciate, the value of, a branded digital currency like you're talking about. And I'd like to do that by starting off with the Freedom Coin for Gun Broker, and really the benefits that it brings to the company, the usability, the connection to the customer, and obviously all of the problems that PayPal might have with dealing, connecting a customer with a company that sells guns, or Visa connecting a company that sells guns to the customer, and the risk that they feel like they're taking, and what a coin like Freedom Coin offers to bridge that gap and to facilitate a smoother transaction. So let's start there. And again, I think it lends itself to what the value in these currencies going forward is.
Well, look, we at ICOx, we like to partner with brands who have large online audiences that have a need that needs to be solved. In the case of our gun broker friends, they have a large regulated firearms marketplace in the US. And they have 4.7 million registered users. They do $650 million a year in transactions, and they couldn't get PayPal, couldn't get Venmo, couldn't get decent credit card processing prices for those 4.7 million users. So we built them their own payment rails built on crypto with a stable coin, very similar model to what Facebook Libra is doing, fully regulated in the United States, and full compliance with money transmitter licenses, anti-money laundering, background check, KYC, all of that built into the coin, and bringing significantly lower cost and faster transactions at a higher level of know your customer compliance. That's the kind of benefit that we can bring. And 4.7 million registered users, that has the potential to be one of the most retail transacted cryptocurrencies this year in the world. And so we're really excited about that.
Yeah, it's really powerful. And before we get into some of the other clients here, customers, would you be able to talk about? Obviously, it's very cheap, and it makes sense for the companies to want to use this, and the customers, and it bridges that gap. But how lucrative is it for ICOx to be doing this and servicing and providing and satisfying this need that, as you said, these companies have?
Well, each of the brands, again, because we're dealing with brands with large online communities, there's a lucrative business models for the brands. And so we partner with those brands, and we get up to $2 million in work development fees to build out the platforms at healthy margins. We also take equity stakes in each of the joint ventures that we start with our projects, and going forward, we're taking small transaction based fees on every transaction that goes through the platforms. So we think there's a very healthy long-term business model. We've got ongoing consulting fees building each of these projects out, and if we target 4 to 6 of these a year, it's a good sustainable business that's building very, very valuable underlying companies.
So the Cathio customer, I think, is something that we need to touch on here today. And I think, it really, again, goes to show the future of where this is all headed. I mean, this is the Catholic Church. You guys are serving the Catholic Church. And, I want to talk about, again, what are the benefits for the Catholic Church using its own organizational coin? And how big of a deal this is. I mean, largest hospital networks, education system, just massive influence, landowners. I mean, we've talked about this in the past, but I really want people to wrap their minds around how big of a deal this is, and the sort of trend that we're seeing here in regards to what you guys are doing.
Well, the Catio project's really exciting. We just announced it 2 weeks ago. It's been raising great headlines all over the world, and they've already announced 4 customers. This is a project that's really exciting for us. And if you think of it, it is a very, very large online community that wasn't, and that's 50 million Catholics in America. You've got some of the biggest institutions, education, etc., even down to paying school fees was costing everyone so much money. So you could take significantly reduced transaction costs across the entire Catholic economy. That was the first basis, the transforming the way the Catholic economy moves money. That simple premise, and that's a global opportunity. But we partnered with a team that's deep embedded roots in the Catholic Church. Our board and advisors include former Senator Rick Santorum, who's a presidential candidate, former Ambassador Jim Nicholson, who was the ambassador to the U.S. ambassador to the Holy See, the Vatican. Some very, very deep roots in the Catholic media and in church organization. So this group had a vision to say, let's transform the way the Catholic economy moves money, significantly lower cost, and tokenizing everything from the donations basket right through to payments, international, that are affiliated with the Catholic Church. I mean, that's a really large online community that needed to be better served with payments. And then we build in all of the other benefits as well.
So, Bruce, if people or companies choose not to use their own branded digital currencies, do you see this going forward as an advantage for those who do, and a massive disadvantage for those who choose to not move forward with their own cryptocurrencies using the blockchain?
Well, look, we've seen, and it's very clear, we've seen some brands looking to take Bitcoin at their cash registers, and there's been very, very little take up, and it's mainly due to complexity. It's still very difficult to manage that transaction. So as we put in new, simple digital wallet, digital currency transaction models, as we're doing with brands, and exactly like Facebook is doing with their Calibra wallet and their Libra coin, we think brands can jump on that bandwagon and really generate value. So instead of just taking the traditional cryptocurrencies and accepting them at your cash register, now they can bring in their own branded cryptocurrency, but fully regulated. And I think that's what we've seen. The brands need that full regulation, full compliance in order to feel comfortable participating. And those who do are gonna win big.
So, Bruce, let's talk about the Kodak coin. The benefit for Kodak, and this was one of your first customers here. Still very early stage. I mean, we're talking about a very early in the game opportunity here with what you guys are doing. But talk about this customer, and again, the value and how you guys are able to customize these tokens for what the company needs. And I think that's something that I want to stress here too, is that each token is so customized to whatever the client or customer needs. And that's the beauty of the tech behind it. And so maybe with this one, just kind of touch on that and how it's just so customized for the specific needs of a certain customer.
Sure. So we partnered with a company called Ride Holdings. They were data scientists and copyright infringement lawyers. And together we built a blockchain copyright infringement or digital rights management platform. Copyright infringement is the first use case of that platform. The platform compares 1 billion images per second. It's an amazing platform. It's live today. and it's actually earning revenues. One of the very few early revenue generating blockchain organizations. So we're very, very proud of that group. And they Ride Holdings partnered with Eastman Kodak as a partner in the project. And Eastman Kodak looked like the project because it protects the rights of content creators and storytellers online, and that's something that's always been very, very important to the heritage of Kodak, and democratizing photography, which has also been a long-standing important element of the brand history of Kodak. So put those together, and the Kodak One platform just made an announcement this week where they've got partnered with a company called Image Protect. They're going to bring millions and millions of dollars of new infringement cases onto the Kodak One platform over the next 2 years. Again, generating millions of revenues. So it's quite an exciting time in the development of that project, and we're very excited about them.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, I am as well. Bruce, if people want to learn more about the company, more about what you're doing, I mean, obviously there's just so much going on. It's just not you guys aren't just a one trick pony. I mean, you guys have a lot of different things that you guys are working on. And I expect a lot of great things to come down the line here as well. If people want to learn more about what the company is doing, please let them know where they can go and what they can expect to find.
Great. So the easy part, ICOxinnovations.com, our website. You'll find our story, our projects, our news releases, investor relations materials. But importantly, we spend a lot of time creating videos like this, and they're on our site. Each time we do a press release, we also put out a video release around what it really means, and just trying to make it really, really simple. So if everyone, please jump onto our site, and there'll be quite a significant content of video, and I think it'll give you a really good insight into what we're doing. And you can see our content from some of our board members. Ed Moy, who's the 38th director of the U.S. Mint. We've got Alfonso Jackson, who's former vice chair of J.P. Morgan Chase. These guys are on our board because they believe in our ability to transform American businesses, global businesses, and our commitment to regulatory compliance. You put those two things together with our vision for branded digital currencies, and you'll see that well mapped out on our site.
Bruce, we're going to have to definitely do an update here in the very near future as things develop with the company. But for now, I want to thank you for coming on Crush the Street. I appreciate your time and for sharing this information with us, updating us on what is happening with Facebook, the developments on blockchain, and of course, introducing us to ICOx innovations even further. So thank you again for your time with us here at Crush the Street. We'll have the links in the description area for anyone who wants to visit the website and learn more about the company. Again, thank you, Bruce.
Fantastic, Kenneth, and to you and your audience, we really appreciate the time, and please have a look at our website and ICOx Innovations. We're stock symbol ICOX, traded on the OTCQB and the Toronto Venture Exchange as well. So fantastic. Thank you very much for your time.